Alright, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, humans and pets, welcome back to the Mobile Mayhem North America Wild Rift Tournament Season 1, and we're in the group stage. This is the last week of the group stage. Today we have a special guest, Mr. Moose. How are you doing, Moose?
Hey Dave, how are ya? Oh, it's been a couple of weeks since I've seen you, but I'm really pumped to be able to cast with you again. The last time that we casted a Wild Rift event, it was a ton of fun.
Yeah.
And we've got a lot of the players, and I've seen the broadcast before, a lot of great players, a lot of great opportunities for a lot of these players to perform really well. And honestly, I can't wait to get started with these games. We've got 6 games over the course of the weekend ready to go for us. That's going to be a ton of fun.
Yeah, absolutely. And this week, we'll decide who goes to playoff, who doesn't. Let's quickly take a look of the match of the day. Today we have YAWN versus KND, Tribe versus Mayham, J4F versus Goons. The first game that's already, the band pick is already underway. It's going to be between YAWN and Team KND. Very exciting matches. Let's take a look at their current standing so you get a look of what's going on right now. YAWN is 3 and KND is 0.1. If they want to progress, if YAWN want to secure their spot in the playoff, this is the match that they have to win today.
Exactly. And I mean, for YAWN being in that third place, I mean, you've got 4 teams that are going to be able to make it to the semifinals. And so when you're thinking about teams like KND, like Tribe, who are in rank 4, in rank 5, even J4F, you can't sleep on the fact that, hey, you know, I'm third place, I'm going to be just fine. You can't yawn at your way to potentially be able to win into the semifinals. And there's also a chance you could potentially raise up in those ranks. Get rank 2, get rank 1. Mayhem, maybe a little bit of an easier bracket last week than what they have this week. Could potentially see an opportunity for them to come back, but you also, I mean, you can't count out Goons either. We got that tie for first. I don't expect us to be in a tie for first moving out of this weekend's bracket, but you know, you never know. You never know for sure, and we're gonna find out sooner or later how that's gonna play out.
Yeah, Mayhem and a team Tribe is going to play today in the next match, so stay tuned for that. But first, the first game band pick is already underway. Without further ado, let's quickly jump into the band pick and show you guys what's going on in the first game between Team YAWN and KND.
Yeah, so if you take a look at that over there, we've got, you know, Braum, Olaf, and Ezreal coming in for that blue team. Going to be really fun to see how that Braum is going to play out. I mean, obviously Ragnarok coming in from that Olaf, and then True Shot Barrage, really fun. The bands coming in, I mean, Camille, Wukong, makes sense. Wukong banned a lot last weekend, but one champion that made it through the ban, I guess 2 champions that made it through the ban this game at least, Ziggs and Lee Sin coming in, going to be available for KND. I'm very excited to see how they're going to be able to use these champions well and potentially get themselves off to a good start. I mean, we've seen how well those champions can play. Maybe not as effective now, but I mean, especially that Lee Sin though, very surprising to see that get through.
Yeah, you know, KND got a very luxurious comp right here. This is what somebody may call a dream composition. You know, you got Lee Sin, you got Ziggs, you got Gragas, some of the strongest, most contested meta picks. And for YAWN, they're going for a little bit, it's still very traditional, still on the line of meta. You got the definition of pole comp, you got Israel and Braum combination. We're just looking for what they're gonna get for mid lane, because they kind of lost Ziggs. Usually when you have Israel, when we've seen the last week of group stage, that's usually teamed up with the Ziggs. So what are they gonna have for mid lane? It seems like it's gonna be the Ahri.
Right, I mean, that would make sense as well. We saw Ahri be performed or being used a couple of times last weekend as well. I mean, Ahri always really good with that Spirit Rush, to be able to have that mobility, to be able to move around the Rift extremely easily. But without a Kali pick as well, ooh, that's going to be fun. You've got the Assassin in the Ahri, or in the Akali and in the Ahri to be available to go in and maybe get a pick on somebody like that Varus, like that Ziggs, and then you've got the Ezreal to always just wallop with those Mystic Shots, with those True Shot Barrages. And so I'm curious to see if the Olaf and the Braum are going to be able to keep this Ezreal protected. The Braum most likely just going to have to stay hovered very close to the Ezreal, making sure that the Lee Sin, that the Alistar, that the Gragas can't get into position. But at the other end of the token, I mean, KND, I mean, we were talking about how great this draft is for them. I mean, it's quite spectacular. You've got Alistair being hovered coming in from the support. We'll see, or for the support, we'll see if that actually gets picked by them. I don't see why not. Galio, again, another amazing choice. And it's going to be the Galio making the decision to go for that one. This is a huge comp. You know, like if we were like going in for those like tier lists, you know, it's like you have the $5 champions, the $4 champions. I feel like, you know, KND, they've got a solid $20, $23 worth of champions here. S tier champions in the Ziggs, in the Lee Sin, and in the Gragas as well. The Varus and the Galio, I think that's a really stable bottom lane as well. A lot of defense there to keep that Varus alive. I'm just curious to see whether or not they're going to be able to have that defense necessary for the Varus to come through. We're going to find out whether or not that is going to be the case, though. I mean, like I said, Ahri, Akali, it's going to be really good to see.
Yep, I mean, to be honest though, from this two composition, I gotta give my vote of confidence this game to KND. However, because if you look at YAWN, they're too snowball heavy. I'm personally more of a conservative type of ban pick draft kind of person. You know, when you have a snowball heavy composition with Ahri, with Akali, and with Olaf, if you're not able to get those early game advantages, if you're not able to get those like early game kills or secure those objectives, it's gonna be really hard for them to pull off any defense because they don't have a lot of like a reliable wave clear in order to defend towers. And when you cannot defend those towers, you're gonna lose your map control really, really quickly if you fall behind. Now, if you look at the KND, they got poke, right, from the Gragas, from the Ziggs. They got hard dive. If Varus decided to do that, Varus also can poke at the same time. So there's a lot of champions that can fit in different roles altogether. So overall, I gotta say KND come to this tournament prepared, and they're definitely not stingy with those picks in game one.
No, absolutely not. And like you said, I mean, this is all-round pick ban draft, and so, I mean, these champions that they're picking now, not going to be available for that round number 2. Going to be interesting to see whether or not they're going to be able to use them effectively. I'm excited to see if they are going to be able to take game number 1. And I mean, at this point, anything is possible. It's the very beginning of the tournament this weekend. Going to be able to find a opportunity for you to make it happen, and we're going to see if it's going to play out. Obviously, I mean, for the Olaf, for the Ezreal, I shouldn't say for the Ezreal, I mean, for the Olaf especially, I think the Olaf has to be really, really strong when he uses that ultimate. That Ragnarok is so important to use effectively when you've got the Chain of Corruption coming in from the Varus, when you've got the explosive cast coming in from the Gragas. If YAWN is going to be able to use it effectively, if they're able to make that happen, it's going to be a good game. It's going to be really solid, and we're going to see whether or not they're going to be able to do it, though, as we get ourselves ready to jump into this match.
Yeah, because like you mentioned, Olaf really have to time that ultimate properly. If he only probably have one chance of entrance, if you miss the opportunity to go in and kill somebody, preferably Varus or Ziggs, it's going to be really, really hard for YAWN. Because then, remember, they have a lot of kiting, a lot of like fighting back and forth potential. If you can kill somebody, secure 1 or 2 very important kills for KND's MVPs, those most valuable targets, then you're gonna be in a bad spot. So again, YAWN's snowball heavy. Can they pull off their composition? Because if they can, once they gain a little bit of control on the map, they're gonna be camping bush left and right, and it's really gonna give KND a hard time. Anybody from their team, if they walk into a bush, they're gonna be heavily punished, including even Gragas, because Gragas can be tanky, but still Gragas needs some time to farm up and get those items. If you get camped by Olaf, by Akali, you're gonna die instantly.
Exactly, and so now, Dave, it's got to be something that we gotta talk about. Is this a limit test? Is this a limit test saying, hey, you know, we don't need those top tier champions. You can take them all, and we're still going to be able to take this win.
Limit test. Can you explain it? Can you elaborate on
so
that?
Basically, I mean, if you look at KND, like on the standings, gonna be, I believe, ranked number 5, correct? Like, and you've got YAWN ranked 3. Like, basically what I'm trying to say is, you know, is YAWN, or are they making the decision to say, hey, you know, we don't need those top tier champions. We're going to use some interesting opportunities here to try to push our limits. Say, hey, you know, we don't need those big plays. We don't need those big champions. You can take them all and we can still beat you.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, maybe this is one of those textbook moments, you know, teach you how to become, you know, better person moment, right? It's just one of those moments that we call a mentor moment. We'll show you how to become the better men, better women here. Like, this is what YAWN's saying actually. And also, like I said, we're using all-run ban pick right here. So they might be using their weaker champions to try to bait out everything from KND. Because if you win this overall match, you're still gonna get 2 points overall, no matter how you're gonna win it, 2-0 or 2-1. So it's still there is a little bit of card game like elements in the ban pick. Overall, I think it's best out of 3. You can just pick whatever you want, to be honest, and you shouldn't be like saving champions. You know, it's only like 10 champion bans even if we get to game 3.
Right, exactly. And I mean, that's going to be the big point is like, do we get to a game number 3 here, or do we just land in, you know, a game 2? Is this just a 2-0? We're going to find out momentarily if that is going to be the case. But now, as we get ourselves ready to jump into this game, what are we going to see? We've got YAWN versus KND. We've got Ari. We've got Braum. We've got Olaf. We've got Ezreal. We've got Akali up against the red team. KND, Ziggs, Lee Sin, Varus, Galio, and the Gragas. Let's see if he's going to be able to make that happen.
This is a very important game for YAWN. Yes, they're sitting at number 3. They're sitting comfortably right now, but next week they're going against Tribes. The road to playoff is only getting harder and harder. I mean, this game, if they win this match, they probably secure their spot, but if they lose this match, I mean, everything's up in the air.
Right, exactly. And I mean, like you said, it's all about, you know, game number 1, or today at least, being able to get yourself into a position to be able to confirm that spot in playoffs. And I mean, obviously, we got Goons, we've got Mayhem, they're going to be playing a little bit later today as well. And so, I mean, at the end of the day, YAWN is in a good position. I mean, they've got bases loaded to be able to get themselves into playoffs. Now, all they got to do is at a home run here in this game and secure themselves that spot in playoffs. But again, the other opportunity here for YAWN is also to be able to maybe move up in the bracket. Might be able to get that second spot to go for an easier opponent in the first round of semifinals.
Yeah, let's take a look at the laning situations right here. Bottom lane's been pretty even so far. Again, every time when I see Braum, I think I see an invade. I just feel bad. I like Braum with invade. It's just so much more action early game, you know?
Right.
It could be so much more exciting.
Exactly, and I mean, and that's the big part about, I mean, with this bottom lane, as we see, you know, if we see YAWN making the decision to go for a little bit more of an aggressive decision here, top side or bottom side, pushing forward a little bit. We'll see how that plays out for them. I mean, we do have the Olaf waiting in the wings, a dive potentially, with Olaf being able to get that Scuttle Crab. Maybe not necessarily the best option right now.
Yep.
I would say maybe, you know, just relax a little bit, get that Ezreal a little bit more fed. And when you got the taunt coming in from that Galio, I think it's going to be really difficult for them to be able to do that effectively. But let's find out whether or not that is going to be the case. Doesn't look like we're going to get a dive here. The lane actually going towards YAWN's side. And now Olaf coming in, potentially going to be going in for this gank. He is waiting in the wings. He has the ability to make it happen. And now he's going to be in prime position. He does get spotted. It's going to be the Axis coming through. So the gank doesn't necessarily work. They know now that the Olaf is bottom side. This could give potentially KND the opportunity to go in for a gank top side against that Akali with the Gragas, with the Lee Sin. We'll see if that ends up playing out.
Yeah, and Lee Sin is actually one of those champions that's really easy to gank Akali with that reveal with the skill 3 and ultimate. There are quite a bit of skills that Lee Sin can utilize. It turned out we're not gonna see a gank so far. This has been really even. Even the River Sculler, we can see it's 1 to each side, so nothing special happened. The jungle all turned level 5. Both went back home, bought their first round of items. Let's take a look at the item options right here. Lee Sin does seem like he's going for the Trinity Force, or maybe some. I think it's maybe. What do you think the first item Lee Sin's going for right here?
Lee Sin, well, he's got the Caulfield's Warhammer, so his options are still open, ready to go for whatever he wants to. Anything that builds into that. Obviously, you know, we could. Ooh, maybe. Oh man, that could be spicy. That could be fun. But I mean, we've also got that Serrated Dirt coming in from the Varus. We're gonna see whether or not he's going to be able to use it effectively. Most likely, maybe going for that Dustblade. Serrated Dirt with that lethality, really good on ADCs that have a lot of potential attack damage. like Varus. And so we're going to find out whether or not he's going to be able to use that effectively. Right now, though, a very slow start to the game. YAWN in a little bit of an advantage, though, has about a 600 gold lead at this point, as it does look like we might be seeing an engage coming through. Braum and the Olaf now potentially in a bad spot. Oh, nice taunt going to come in, but we are going to see the ultimate from Braum going to come through. Not going to get any kills, though, however. A little bit of a disengage. Zig going to drop the minefield. We're going to see the Pure Rush come through. Not going to be able to get the charm, but the Scuttle Crab going to be taken by YAWN.
Hey, Ari?
Oh, no, not quite yet. Oh my goodness, everyone is here available. This is a huge team fight right now. Ocean Drake is ready to go. We've got the opportunity potentially for that Ocean Drake to go over to YAWN, but it is still alive. Galio is now at half HP. Everyone very low on KND, but also YAWN is extremely low as well. Not going to be able to get it. It's going to be a first blood against Galio. Going to be able to get 2 kills for YAWN. Looking for more. Bart's going to be able to take down Braum. And now we've got a 4v1. They want the war. And they don't get the Gragas, but they get such huge rewards out of that one. They're going to be able to get themselves not only the dragon, but then also 4 kills and a 3,100 gold lead. An amazing play coming in by Olaf, the jungler coming in clutch. But all in all, YAWN playing phenomenal matching right now.
Oh my goodness. I was just about to analyze the items. The team fight happens so quickly. It really great kiting back and forth from Team YAWN right there. I thought they were in the best spot because before the team fight began, you already saw that Braum was poked very low, but Israel was just in such a good position. He was poking all along, and everybody's able to get away from Team YAWN, able to kill the diving Osiris and the Galio. That was the kill number 1, snowball into infinity right there. 41 trade. We talk about how Team YAWN needs a snowball, and then here it comes. The snowball begins.
The snowball does begin indeed. YAWN going to be able to get the Ocean Drake. We're going to see some big items starting to come online as well. Zhonya's Hourglass going to come through, being able to get that invulnerability for the for Ezreal, for Joey. Going to be looking to potentially continue to keep that going. We've also got, well, I guess the boots, yeah, the Zhonya Hourglass alteration on the boots, but then also the Manamune as well. Going to be able to just get even more attack damage. Luden's Tempest going to come in from Ari as well, and that's going to lead to even more explosive damage as we do get to see a Nimble be able to take down a Kali. A little bit of a little bit of some momentum there for KND, not only being able to take the kill, but then also being able to take tower.
That's huge. First tower is one of the most important standing gold on the map, and if you're able to get that top side though, you might see a little bit of Gragas.
Oh, got a little bit of an engage coming through. Grog's going to be getting a little bit of damage, but not going to die just yet. They still want to be going for it. They're not going to be able to get to happen, and that's going to be another kill. Nimble going to be able to get that one down, and now Lee Sin coming through. A great Braum ultimate. Going to be looking for more. We got the hero's entrance coming through, but not going to be enough. It's going to be KND. Nimble going on a killing spree.
I just want to point out in that team fight, Osiris ulted into a target that's so far away from the team fight. Still, YAWN got a little bit too greedy over there. They dive over all the way to tier 2 turrets on the top side, and sure enough, they got heavily punished on that. I mean, they could have gotten away, and Ari's position was just complete out of whack, and that just gave up all the advantage they had. When you have a composition like this, it's better to focus on standing gold. It's better to focus on map control so you can have more bush controls and then start a snowball. But this is the beginning of many mistakes. It might be a chain into a further falling behind for Team YAWN. They've really got to get their stuff together at this point.
Exactly, but at the end of the day, though, they still have, YAWN still has a 2,000 gold advantage. Osiris there, we got a little bit of a zoom in. What a skin, by the way. The skin game is always fun. Really, really cool to see. But it's going to be interesting to see whether or not KND is going to be able to continue to keep up this momentum. 1.5 thousand gold lead right now for YAWN. They were able to get the Ocean Drake with another one spawning here in just a couple of minutes. We're going to see whether or not they are going to be able to continue to keep it up Will they be able to get this back under control? Because they did lose a little bit of momentum there. But they weren't able to get it going. They weren't able to, get that big snowball that you were talking about. And now they're only in the lead by about 2K. They've got the ability to potentially keep it up. We're going to see whether or not that is going to be able to continue to be the case. 9 minutes into the game, still, anybody's game at this point.
Ziggs is getting fairly farmed though. Let's take a look at Ziggs' item, our Luden's Echo on Wall's way to Death's Cap. With a little bit of poking in mid lane, a dragon just spawned. More sweeper coming out.
Right, and so, we've got the dragon now available. It is going to be a Mountain Drake ready to go. But now we're going to be essentially seeing a team fight coming in. It's going to be KND at the river first. Mystic Shot is on the way, and those Mystic Shots, the poking damage coming in from YAWN is what able to secure them that team fight in the first dragon. Going to be looking to continue to keep that up, though. Not going to be able to go for the dragon. It's KND holding their own. We've got the bombs flying. We've got the ability to go in for that kind of potential there. And now they're going to be looking to potentially keep that up. Doesn't look like they're going to be trying to go for this dragon, though. They might even be thinking, hey, we'll drop the Rift Herald in the mid lane. And now they're going for the fight. Gavin is going to be caught out, and he's going to go down with a beautiful Ragnarok yet again. Blue team double kill, going to be able to deny all of that potential CC. The explosive cast does come in, but unfortunately way too late, and not going to be able to use it effectively. Not going to be able to get much out of anything in that first early part of the fight, but then able to clean up, gets the Braum kill, gets the Olaf kill, and no one gets the dragon.
No one gets the dragon indeed. MVP once again have to go to Joey, in my opinion, from Team YAWN. He was poking. He was single-handedly taking on the entire team's responsibility for poking Team KND. Yeah, and he didn't die. He kept a really good position, just staying on the perimeter of the team fight, just poking everybody down to very low HP. I think it's because of Joey they were able to save the dragon despite 2 deaths on their team over there. So really good job from Joey right here.
Yes, and also, we got to give a shout out to KND as well. Being able to take down the Olaf, not being able to allow the jungler to be able to use that spite onto the dragon. We can't even talk about that as we get another potential team fight. What damage from that True Shot Barrage. As the axes come through, Redemption is going to come down. A little bit of healing, little bit of damage, but nothing too crazy. The Infernal Bomb not going to really do much landing there. The Ragnarok again, so much damage. The Chain of Corruption is going to come through, but unfortunately, it's going to be everyone going down. Nimble dies, the Galio dies, the Lee Sin, the Ziggs. Everyone's gone. It's a blue team triple kill. Very nicely done.
Oh my goodness, and now they secured a dragon once again. They got the snowball back. Let's quickly take a look off that replay right here to see exactly what happened. Oh my goodness, you can see that great entrance from Olaf right here to Ragnaroks. That was just incredibly timing with everybody poking on the side. I think overall from Team YAWN, we just see really good positioning. Like, even though their competition is full dive, but they're able to fight around the parameter, go in and out really well.
Exactly. At the end of the day, the poking damage that we saw coming in from YAWN, you were talking about it as well. Being able to get that damage, being able to make sure that Joey is in a good position to be able to drop that True Shot Barrage, being able to drop that damage effectively throughout the game was throughout that team fight was extremely important. And at the end of the day, yes, KND did have a good flanking position. Yes, they were at the dragon first, but just the damage and the overall consistent damage that YAWN can pull off was incredible. Yes, you've got Nimble with a little bit of a fight there, going to have the ability to be able to get that Dust Blade, does have that more mana now, but at the end of the day, in a fairly even fight gold-wise with the Ezreal, a little bit ahead by about 1,000 gold because of that killing spree, but I felt the value that Joey was able to provide on that Ezreal in the last couple of team fights has been spectacular.
Yeah, let's take a look at all the items. Akali able to get the triple kill last game, put himself at 10,000 gold. Compared to Gragas only at 7,000, so at this point, Gragas can't even stand in lane against Akali alone.
No, not at all.
Yeah, if this continues, with the Baron buffer, they're looking to push some tower right now. But great defense coming from Team KND. If they continue this trend, don't count them out just yet, because their composition skills really hard into late game.
No, absolutely. And so, I mean, that's going to be the big deal here. That's going to be the bottom line coming in from YAWN. Can YAWN get it? Ooh, flash going to be used. Be able to get away, so just going to be just fine. But, oh no! No, he's not going to be fine. That's Nimble going to be able to get that kill. Very nicely done. Huge play coming in from KND. But are they going to be able to get anything else, though? We've got YAWN going to run for the counterattack on the other side. We're getting a explosive task, so Broggs does survive. Galio will go down. And so it's going to be a 1-for-1 across the rift. No inhibitor turrets going down. But now, with the lead where it's at 11,000, 10,000 gold right now, maybe 11 at the moment, for not quite 11, but 10,000 gold right now for YAWN is huge. Going to be very nicely done.
10,000 gold lead. Let's take a look at where all those golds are lying on. Obviously, we know Akali is just like has sitting at 3 core items right now. Right now, this is no longer like an itching fight for Akali. Whenever she jumps in, it's gonna be the game fight decider. Like she's gonna like just eliminate anyone in the back. So they really gotta watch out for entire KND. Their backline is in a lot of trouble. Look at Brum's positioning. He's looking
really strong. Uh-oh. Wants to play in their face, but again, you know, that I think is more or less, you know, YAWN being able to recognize that KND isn't able to go up against the Ezreal one-on-one. I think Joey, you know, just fine being able to be in a good position all on his own. Not really going to have any worries just yet, and that's why the Braum is able to play in his face and be able to get into that positioning. And I think that that's huge, and that's a huge opportunity there for YAWN. I think they've gotten into KND's head. They have that big gold lead, and now might potentially be able to smack down the ward as well. We're going to get a lot of damage coming in from Braum, but he's going to be able to get the knockup onto the Lee Sin. Baron Nashor is up, but it's not going to matter. Gragas is going to be able to get the kill, but it's going to be Ezreal getting the kill onto the Gragas as well. The charm going to land on the Lee Sin. They want the damage. They want the kills. We're going to get the knockup coming in from Galio. Akali very low, as well as the Olaf, but the Olaf has the redemption, and that is going to do it in that team fight. No, it's not. KND going to be able to get a shutdown, a big shutdown, and now YAWN going to have to retreat away from the dragon. KND looking to take the dragon advantage.
Yep, they have the map and control, and it seems like Xander's rank 1 super low. One more poke to go down.
Oh, he does go down, actually. We are going to see the Spirit Rush coming in with that Hextech Rocket Belt. A lot of damage onto the Olaf, and it will be a killing spree. The True Shot Barrage so close to taking the kill on to Varus. Less than 10 HP, and unfortunately for YAWN, KND able to survive, and it's going to be an advantage fight there for KND, getting them a little bit back on track.
Back on track they are, shrinking the gold deficit from close to 11,000 now to like 9,000, 8,000 gold deficit. And Varus and Ziggs poking are getting online. Look at Varus. You got 4 core items already being finished, and then he's on his way to a fully decked item stack. Look at Ziggs, Leandre's Dash Cap, Luden's Echo. It's gonna hurt with any skills coming off from Ziggs. Oh, mid lane.
They want another fight. They want to be able to continue to keep that momentum going. Baron is up. But like you were talking about, I mean, a lot of gold, a lot of damage on the Ziggs. We've got the Leandri's Anguish. We've got the Luden's Tempest along with the Rabadon's Death Cap. And so he does have the ability to really, like, pretty much zero to death. Pretty much any of the carries, the Akali, the Ezreal, the Ahri, maybe even the Olaf when he pops that Ragnarok. And so I'm curious to see if he's going to be able to get that opportunity. I mean, at this point, the Varus was able to do his work. The ADC in the bottom lane, able to make that happen, gets the killing sprees, able to get those kills, and now it's up to the very strong mage from the mid lane to be able to pull off the victory here for KND. Does he have the damage? Does he have the skill? Does he have the way to make it happen? I don't know. I mean, YAWN still has.
Does. Okay.
I don't know. What do you think?
This is what I'm saying, because at early game, Joey might be taking the job for the entire team of YAWN to poke, but when the later it gets and the safe, see, for Team KND, they were farming safely the entire game. It does give Nimbo, it gives Tri-Feed a lot of opportunity to farm. It's eventually going to get to the point where even Galio's pokes is what matters, and Gragas' pokes matter. So this is getting scarier and scarier for Team YAWN to speak. KND's scaling is only going to get harder, and then you can see in the last team fight already, Joey cannot single-handedly take on the entire poke from Team KND. The poke from Varus, poke from Ziggs is just too much.
Yep, not
here it
anymore.
goes.
Oh, we got another team fight coming through. The charm is going to land, and it's already going to be able to take down Nimble. That is going to be a huge shutdown. And now Israel going to go into a rampage. It's going to be a blue team double kill. Ziggs will die, and well, Ziggs might have had the chance to be able to get that damage and secure that kill. It is not going to be enough, and it will be, I think, the blue team running towards the Nexus, getting themselves the win here in game number 1. Yes, they had a little bit of a hiccup there in the middle game, but at the end of the game, being able to come back into it and secure themselves game number 1 victory in style. And that's the scary part when you play against a champion like Ahri. You are able to get that charm, able to get that CC. You're forced into a team fight that is just impossible to come out of, because at the end of the day, when you're charmed, when you're CC'd like that, it's going to be difficult to come back from that one. Zenith obviously going to be that MVP there. I think those Ragnaroks were coming in clutch. Nimble, though, valiant effort, 15,000 gold, almost the richest man on the Rift, tied pretty much with 9 and Zenith, but nothing too crazy in terms of being able to continue to keep that momentum going. But take a look at the damage. Wow, Dave, you know, you're absolutely right. Look at that damage coming in from Trifeed. 23,000 damage before he really was able to get that momentum there, before he was able to get himself that kill. Really, really nicely done.
But great play, though. I just want to point out what a great play from 9 on Ahri in the very last team fight. When he dove in and get the charm and do the full damage, just completely eliminated Nimble. Like, in 1 second. You know, we talk about, doesn't matter how much farm you have 15,000 gold, almost the richest person on the map. But if you get one shot at 10,000 times 0, it's still 0. And that's exactly what happened in the very last team fight. So, more credits, more power to 9 for pulling out a great, great dive over there. Overall, the MVP from both sides, I mean, Zenith's rank 1 definitely played it really well. Personally, my MVP in this game have to go to either 9 or Joey. Just Joey for the poke and 9 for the incredible, the last team fight that just one grab, one kill got them the win in that game.
You're right. I mean, at the end of the day, that is the bottom line. It's like, if you are able to get that final important team fight to be able to secure that big win, to be able to get into the Nexus, because that was it. Once they had that final team fight, once the ace was there, there was no way for KND to be able to come back from that one. YAWN just able to continue, YAWN able to get those respawn timers up, and that was it. But again, like you said, I mean, shout out to Joey. Shout out to Joey being able to get that poke damage, that big dragon fight at the very beginning of the game, being able to make sure that YAWN was able to get that momentum, a lot of damage, a lot of ability created because of that fight. The momentum was just built from there. And yes, you know, they were in an advantage state, but shout out again to KND. Like, that was not a stomp. Like, that was, you know, there was a lot of opportunity for them to potentially bring that game back and secure themselves the actual win there.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, though, they do lose those very high tier champions in this next game.
Yeah.
Is that going to be enough? Is that going to be the difference now? Does YAWN have this one in the bag?
Well, if I have to find out, YAWN does still have a lot of comps in the bag available, and it's going to be really hard for KND now because they use a lot of champions in match 1, and they're going to win that match. That's going to be really, really painful for them, but they still have a lot of full dive composition, full dive strategy that they can utilize in the next potentially 2 games, so we shall find out, because we're gonna swap the table now. KND is gonna be first pick, first ban in game 2. But before that happens, ladies and gentlemen, we're gonna go ahead and take a short break. This is your time to share the stream with your friends. Go ahead and follow our good friends Moose right here on social medias, on Twitter, so we can follow all the future matches as he casts. Also at the same time, make sure to follow Mobile Mayhem on social media so you can follow all the future tournaments that they organize as well for the League of Legends Lolwr community, and go to Trovo.live, because the grand finals and the playoff stage for the next week will be streamed exclusively on Trovo. So what you're waiting for, go to Trovo.live. With that, we're going to take a short break, and we'll see you guys in a minute.